Razor, we know about all the insanity happening in the video game space in 2024. And IGN has a year in review recap that we wanted.
Oh boy.
And it's about 8 minutes long, but I wanted to kind of watch it and we can stop and talk about it as always.
Yeah.
But the title of this video is simply "The AAA Video Game Bubble Has Burst." And I wanted
to finally catch up with where I was like 8 years ago, by the way, guys. Really penetrating insight there.
That's right. But what's more interesting about this is their reasoning behind it. And I think one of the things that I want to do as we go through here is just ask simply, why? Why is this happening? So this is from IGN. The AAA video game bubble has burst. This is a recap of 2024, and it's all doom and gloom, baby. Let's go check this out.
Woo! My favorite.
Doom and gloom. Here we go.
The video game industry is currently in the thralls of a paradox. For players, it could be argued we're in one of the greatest times for gaming. There's incredible breadth of choice across.
No, it couldn't. No, it couldn't.
No.
And if that was true, it wouldn't be having all of these problems.
Correct. I agree. This is I think this is the toxic positivity, kind of almost looking outside the toxic positivity bubble for the first time.
Yes, absolutely.
Going, yo, well, what's going on here? Let's go.
I mean, there's been this phenomenon, we referenced it earlier, where there's these games that come out, or movies, or books, or comics, and they're not good, and no one buys them, but they have the message.
Mm-hmm.
And so the journalists line up, they hold their circle jerk, and they fire awards at it from a cannon. And the audience either shits on it or just shrugs and keeps playing something else that's actually fun. And we've seen this again and again and again. Opening up with this is essentially just reinforcing that before they go on to, oh, hey, by the way, the sky is falling.
Well, I think this is the first realization that the sky is indeed falling.
Yeah.
Let's go check this out.
Is made ever more accessible through gaming subscription services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. But from an industry perspective, things could not be more dire. More and more studios seem to be closing, original IPs are being scrapped mid-development, and vast legions of game developers, programmers, artists, and animators have been cut loose. To put it simply, the AAA video game bubble has finally burst. Across the past 2 years, over 23,000 jobs in the video game industry were lost, with a staggering 6,000 in January 2024 alone. Over 30 video game development studios have ceased operations, including Arcane Austin, Volition, and most recently Firewalk Studios. What's worse is this trend only shows signs of continuing rather than diminishing. So how did we get here? Well, some analysts have concluded these closures and redundancies are a necessary remedy to companies having overextended themselves in response to inflated demand in the market during the COVID-19 pandemic. While that's undeniably a factor,
it's not just that. You know, they'll touch on the pandemic for half a second, but what's the other factor in the pandemic? During the pandemic is when they were handing out all the ESG and DEI money. So these projects that got greenlit at the beginning of the COVID pandemic are woke to the rafters. Like, they're just obnoxiously woke. And
right.
So this is how you wind up with garbage like Concord and such.
Mm-hmm.
And we're essentially just expelling all of these at once. And suddenly the reaction to that is, oh, well, AAA gaming must be dying. You had to expect this.
Of course. But that's the thing. You're talking about IGN in particular, based in San Francisco, right? Access media to its core, literally to its core. It's what they're designed for, access media. And they don't see it. They're ground zero. Them and Jeff Keighley are ground zero for toxic positivity access media. And kind of funny, obviously. But let's go to continue.
It's just one of many issues that have been gestating for years within the AAA project bubble. Just 5 years ago, AAA projects' average budget ranged from $50 to $150 million. Today, the minimum average is $200 million. Call of Duty's new benchmark is $300 million, with Activision admitting in the Competition and Market Authority's report on AAA development that it now takes the efforts of 1.5 studios just to complete the annual Call of Duty title. But it's far from just Call of Duty facing ballooning costs. In the same CMA report, an anonymous publisher admits that development costs for one of its franchises reached $660 million, with $550 million of marketing costs on top, which makes it a $1.2 billion game.
How ridiculous is it that person gets to be anonymous? Can you imagine? Some of these companies are publicly traded.
Right.
How are you not admitting to your... Your damn trustees. How are you not admitting to them what you had to actually spend on your game? I would think the most basic item of information that a stockholder would need is, hey, here's how much we spent on all the money we made. Like that would, Jesus, that's step one. It's ridiculous. Why does no other industry function the way the video game industry does?
No, you're 100% right. And the idea of 1.2, like, think about this. How many businesses are started in the, like, I look at it anytime you have a new product, right? Specifically in, let's just say in video game space, it's like starting an entirely new business. You're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into this idea that this potential business, this game will be successful.
Yeah.
At no point is anyone ever like, yeah, I really want to invest $1 billion into a business. That's never been uttered ever. Right.
No.
So why is it going to work in the entertainment space of all things, and a space that is built around choice, something that you don't need, or products that are superfluous to everything else in the world? It's a bonus to have any sort of video games. And why would you invest $1 billion, period? 500 million, $200 million at all?
Yeah.
I've said this a million times.
And you damage your brands long enough, by making it. It's like they think that they're going to appeal to the widest audience possible, and then they inject these politics that appeal to the smallest possible number of people possible. And so you wind up with these bloated budgets and this super fringe ideology cohabitating, and you wonder why these games are bombing. And you wind up with a situation where between Dragon Age Veilguard and before that Anthem and Mass Effect Andromeda, EA couldn't sell beans at a farting contest in 2024. That's where we're at. And that's how you got here.
It's amazing. Let's go and continue here.
Yeah.
To put that into perspective, Minecraft, the world's best-selling video game of all time, only broke $3 billion last year, and keep in mind that's what it made since it launched way back in 2011. The realities of these budgets mean entire publishing houses are massively overstretched and are now desperately facing the consequences. If their developers' huge projects don't make money immediately, they gotta go. Sega's...
Hold on. I want to call a little nonsense on this. Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. Now, I didn't say the most profitable game of all time because Minecraft made $3 billion. But isn't Fortnite making like $7 billion annually? Blabs, see if you can find that.
Fortnite, because I'm pretty sure... I would think Grand Theft Auto would be up there. Yes. I would think like there's some games that I would think would be in that rarefied air.
Right. See if you can find the list of highest grossing video games of all time.
Sci-fi shooter super game Hyenas was in development at Creative Assembly for 7 years, and just as it was publicly playable for the first time via alpha testing,
someone in the chat said most profitable ever is GTA 5, and I could see that because I think it's the best selling, right?
No, it's Minecraft.
There's no way that Minecraft is the most.
It could be. I mean, gajillions of people have played it, but
yes, I hear that, but I don't know. But if there. Okay, if Minecraft is the most profitable game of all time, $3 billion is a drop in the bucket to what it's actually made, because Fortnite is making billions of dollars annually, and it's been around for 6 or 7 years at this point.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's continue this.
The reason? Sega preemptively concluded that Hyenas couldn't make its money back. Blizzard's survival project Odyssey had a similar trajectory. Odyssey would have been the studio's first new IP in 8 years, and given the market's love for games like Minecraft and Rust, such a gaming titan should have undoubtedly made waves with this project. When Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, though, the project was swiftly killed with little reason publicly given beyond inconveniences in switching engines to increase player count.
They caught a look at
examples
it.
Of the current
Mystery
AAA publishing.
Solved.
Right. Right.
Jesus.
Yes, they shot. Yep, for sure.
Call reflect a deep-rooted fear to engage with anything new and original. Publishers perhaps more risk-averse than ever to stray out of their established IP safety bars. But even well-known IP that could be worth millions in sales and revenue is being left to rot. Despite owning Infamous, Jak and Daxter, Killzone, Resistance, and Sly Cooper, to name a few entries in PlayStation's sprawling dormant library.
Think about those games that they just listed, that he just listed here. Sly Cooper. Okay, let's go back and hear this one more time.
Jak and Daxter, Killzone,
Jak and Daxter, Killzone,
Resistance, and Sly Cooper, to name a few.
I mean, if they just announced one of those every 6 months.
It would be a big deal. It'd be a huge deal.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge. Of course, you'll never make Sly Cooper because it's a stealth game. We're not allowed to make those anymore. We can have stealth in every game that gets released. We just can't make a stealth game for some reason.
Wow. Continue.
New entries in PlayStation's sprawling dormant library, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki recently claimed the company lacks enough original IP to consolidate itself as a true gaming powerhouse.
That right there just sounds like corpo speak for we'd really like to buy FromSoft and these guys, and this is the excuse we're going to use. We don't have enough IPs. That's the problem.
That is also, I think, a big reason why Sony is not Nintendo. Nintendo with their tremendous amount of IPs that they have. That's what you think about. We've had this conversation before, but Nintendo's mascot is Mario. Who is PlayStation's mascot? I don't know. At one point, it was Jack and Dexter.
At one point, it was Crash Bandicoot, and now look where that is.
Right. I find this. By the way, I found a list of in Blabs. I'm sure you're looking at this exact same thing as me. The number generated. Oh, here we go. Let's take a quick side quest here.
Yeah.
The revenue generated by the games. That's why I don't buy this $3 billion figure for Minecraft. This is from moneyinc.com here. Red Dead 1.5, Tetris 1.9, Minecraft. There's 2.5, right? And this is only number 23 on the list.
Wow.
Right.
What was published?
This was actually published. I'm glad you asked that because it was published April 15th, updated March 20th of this year.
Wow. Okay. So it's
Interesting.
relatively recent.
Yes. So Mario Kart
What's
8
numero uno?
Okay, well let's find out. Any guesses for the number one most profitable game? I'm going to say either Fortnite, World of Warcraft, or Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of
one of
Tetris.
my guess is GTA 5. Only because GTA Online is just money central. It's just free money for Rockstar.
That's where I get wow, Genshin Impact 5 point. Holy shit. That's where I get back to like where was this guy? This was Max whatever his name is over at IGN making this list. Where the fuck did he get $3 billion for Minecraft?
Oh, well, Wikipedia has that.
Donkey Kong.
So the link that I put in the private chat for Wikipedia, Craig, the number one for sales is Minecraft with 300 million. So he just took it from Wikipedia.
So
Donkey Kong is one rung below Super Mario in profitability. That's insane. And it's been dormant for how freaking long?
Now this is total sales of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, isn't that what he's referring to?
No, because he was talking about the cost of games versus.
Then I don't know anymore. There's too many numbers and there's too many lists. Like, why are there so many different answers?
All right, let's find out.
It's like studying world religions.
Wow, this is.
It's number 15. Wow.
What?
Wow. That's
Okay.
still a ton of money.
Oh, we're forgetting mobile games.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
That makes sense, that one.
World of Warcraft makes sense.
Not even in the top 10.
That's insanity.
Wow. Candy Crush. Oh, fucking A. League of Legends. PUBG. Oh my God. PUBG. $16 billion. I don't even know what Honor of Kings is. 10-cent game for mobile in China. Oh my God.
Ray's
Fortnite.
favorite, Tencent.
Street Fighter 2.
Ooh, I believe it. That thing got re-released so many times, and it was in every arcade. It was in every non-arcade. You couldn't go to a laundromat without hitting a Street Fighter 2 cabinet. I believe that figure.
I've come to the realization that kids today, they don't understand the impact that Street Fighter 2 truly had on the video game industry. Like, truly don't understand.
Here's the impact it had. If I went up to a Mexican food restaurant right now and they had a Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet, I would drop quarters and play it.
Correct.
That's the impact it has.
100%.
In 2024.
All right, we're down to our top 3. Dragon Fighter.
I'm still saying Tetris.
Or Dungeon Fighter Online.
I believe that was also huge.
I think Tetris was at the top of the list already. I think it was.
No, Tetris was earlier, which I was surprised by.
All right, here we go. Pac-Man. Okay. Wow. Okay. And number 1 on the list of
what is it going to be?
Say Fortnite.
Okay, I haven't seen Fortnite on this. It's got to be Fortnite.
No, we already passed Fortnite. Fortnite is up here.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay.
Yep. $20 billion. Okay.
What
number 1 on our list?
What?
No way.
Hey, a classic wins out.
All right.
There we go.
At least the classic wins.
I can live with that.
The highest grossing game of all time. The game released in 1978 remains a classic game that modern gamers can still enjoy. Become the first blockbuster game to hit markets. It was released in tons of formats over the years. In Japan, the cost 100 yen to play, and there was myths that the game was so popular it caused a shortage of 100 yen coins. Yeah, I remember that as well. Hearing that myth, myth's been disproven. There's no doubt this game was insanely popular in the homeland.
It was hugely popular here. Right, yeah. It was everywhere.
Let's go and continue with this video, though. We took it a tremendous.
Yeah.
There, here we go.
That list was more interesting than listening to this retard prattle on.
Right. Well, I'll say this. This video in it, as you would expect, I mean, it brings up valid points. But one thing that it doesn't talk about at all in the entire presentation, and you're probably going to nail exactly what it doesn't talk about, is the cultural pandering that is put into these games, and that the rejection of its core audience from modern audience games, right? It's not addressed at all.
Yeah, I mean, what caused Gamergate? It wasn't freaking Zoe Quinn banging a dude. It was the gamers are over thing. It was that. That was when the Gamergate hashtag happened. And it's clear that even though there was a massive amount of pushback from that, and in that sense, it was a cultural victory for normies, it's obvious that the video game industry took that and sort of resentfully absorbed that and said, oh, really? Well, I'm going to go double and triple down. And games got more and more and more in that vein. And that's clearly the so-called business model that they've pursued. Gamers don't have to be your audience. They think we've talked about this before. It's like they think they're going to expand their audience by playing to these aberrant groups, and they wind up just shrinking it down.
The idea that you have, the idea that you want to cater to everybody, and it goes back to if you cater to everybody, you truly cater to nobody.
Yes. Because think about it. Would a concept like Fortnite, just describe what Fortnite is in your brain for a moment and think, okay, is that a commercial concept if you think of it in 2002? Not necessarily, right? Minecraft, the concept of Minecraft, if you would come up with it in 2001 and just said, here's what the game's going to be, would it if you pitched it to a corpo guy, hey, is that a bankable idea? No, Doom 3 would have been a bankable idea then, right? You have to roll the dice and actually make something relatively original first before it becomes something big. I made a whole rant about this called the myth of the hardcore game. There's no such thing as a hardcore game. Any concept is hardcore until it gets marketed sufficiently and becomes popular.